what do I even say? I'm not really feeling like working on that Paramount. I kind of want to build it with modern and cheap parts. I wish it was my size, I'd be more into it, or at least a size easy to sell. Everyone's like, you can sell a small bike. It's some short woman will want it for getting into racing. No, it's not true. It's not true. It's impossible to sell short bikes, and most short women I know who buy bikes and get racing want to buy the most modern racing bike ever. They don't care about the vintage or cool. So yeah, debating. I ought to just part it out. I did, however, I really want to build a little white fixie. But that's in my storage unit. I went and got a storage unit because the landlords were doing an inspection. I need to do some spring cleaning, and I really did have piles of wheels up to the rafters. Storage units cost money. It sucks. I need to get on bikes and build them and sell them and stop being so lazy. Luckily, the internet's down today. And luckily, I got this little bike. So I got this on Sunday. There's 4 or 5 bikes, pretty cheap. I messaged this lady, got back to me, and still had it when I went to pick it up, and sold it to me for $20. She said she hasn't ridden it in a couple of years. It looks like she loved this bike. Looks like she used to ride this bike. It looks like it's been at least 10 years since she's ridden it. It's got fellow orange handlebars, cheap fellow orange brake levers, fellow orange wood grain grips that are gross and moldy. Probably had new tires a decade ago. They're probably really old and cracked now. It's hard to tell. I have like no miles on. They're cheap 27s on 27-inch wheels. It's got, looks like somebody did the cables and housing. Whenever they did the bars and stem and tires and brake pads. So I mean, they did a bunch of work to it and then didn't ride it for a long time. I changed out the chain rings. It's got a 46 tooth specialized outer ring. Looks like probably a 42 inner ring. It's got some weird Sun Tour SVX derailleurs I've never seen before. It's kind of cool. I haven't played with it at all yet. Click, click, click. Smoke protector making noise. So, I don't know. I sold all my consignment bike. Should I do a whole overhaul on this and a build with cool stuff? Should I just clean it up and give it a tune-up and get it out the door as cheap and fast as possible? Probably. I don't know. It was $20. It's kind of cool. It's got real dropouts, like forged dropouts. It's got the cool mixtie stays. It's tiny. This thing's probably like a 41 or 42, depending on how you want to measure your little mixties. It's got a 50 top tube, so that is a really short top tube, especially for 27-inch wheels. Cray. Let's play with it. Let's check the pedals. Pedals are already kind of a modern plastic BMX-y style. There's no play in them at all. I do feel some play in this bottom bracket. Just a little teeny bit. Maybe it's loose in the frame, maybe it's dead. It's a sealed cartridge. It's a more modern replacement. Back hub. Back hub has no play. Spins smooth. Whoa, it's got a cool French skewer. Front wheel's in crooked as fuck. Front wheel looks pretty true-ish, maybe roundish. It's kind of hard to tell with the tire. So I guess we're gonna pull these cranks and see if that bottom bracket tightens up. If not, we'll replace it. There's only a little bit of play, but you're not supposed to have any play. It's got a community cycling center sticker. Maybe they're the ones who fixed it up and sold it as a refurbished bike. Cables and housing are still totally fine. I can really probably just lube them. The old shift stuff's a little older. See, this thing shifts. Got stem shifters. Shifts kind of fine. The front's real stiff. Needs to be lubed and adjusted. This plastic spoke protector's got to go for sure. It's noisy. Got a real mangled chunk of fender with some custom bracket to bolt it down to the rack. This rack and fender gotta go. Part of me wants to switch these brakes to, modern, like used Tektro or something, like a little dual pivot, get some actual brake action going. So we might get too far into this bike. It's so cute. It's so cute and little. If I did that, it's going to change the cable run. I think it's a little tricky because that brake's going to want to come up this way. The S, I think, you usually end up zip tying around the tube. It does have a kind of real tube sticker. It says the Nishiki 4130 chromoly main tubes. It's probably this tube and this tube. The rest are probably cheap, but whatever. Nishiki Sport Tie Comp. I guess the first thing to do is to see if these wheels are junk or not. Feels alright. Araya 27-inch. No wear. Looks like it's had some spokes replaced. These tires don't look as bad as I thought. They're old, but they're not cracked. If this is a 110 BC, I could probably put a 34 on the inside. Maybe a 44 or 45. I might take... It's showing somewhere. I might take this cool Specialized ring off and put something else on. I don't know. They gotta come off anyways. We'll play with them. Chain's crusty. Let's see if this chain is almost new from that last service or not. No. Chain's stretched as stretched comes. Chain's dead. The freewheel's probably dead. Maybe this thing does get the modern overhaul build I want to do. Remember, I need a box, man. Need me a little recycling box, and I need a little saving my parts box. I need 2 boxes. Got a cute recycling bag instead. Cute bag. Don't worry, I didn't buy it from the dollar store. I got it from the bins. I should go to the bins today. Keys to the city. And he really got play. They really got play. They're really coming out. My preferred little park tool, CCW5 with 8mm on one side and 15 on the other. You could also just do this with an 8mm Allen wrench. Like so. 8mm Allen wrench got this from a garage sale for $1. The old normal square taper crank puller. Looking in, I can see these cranks have 4 or 5mm in there of taper left. So they're still good. That's always nice. They're cutes. Sugino Japan 170s, Sugino VPs. I like Sugino. These vintage 80s Sugino cranks I've been getting $40 for on the regular, 45 on eBay, all the time. Easy peasy. Trying to sell nice cranks and no one cares. These mid-level Suginos been doing great. Maybe I'll keep these and put some more modern on. Maybe I'll put that modern silver wheel set on here. Modern silver cranks. Make this thing a 1x. Who knows? Who knows? Really change it up, But that's a ridiculous step. Nothing to nothing. Just had a nice little 34 I sold. I probably have another 34 somewhere. 110, $15, written on in Sharpie. It almost was in my handwriting. I wonder if she even bought this ring for me at my old shop. Who knows? Wow! Party! This side's not very scratched up either. The logo's a little scuffed. A little scuffed off, but barely. Some nice cranks, bro. I wonder what the rear spacing is. Oh, rear spacing. It's like 126. With these extra mixtie stays, it's a little bit harder to squeeze this thing out to 130. But I ain't saying it ain't doable. Let's check this bottom bracket. I want to see if it is loose in the frame or if the bearings are worn out. So the drive side is reverse threaded, so be righty loosey. So let's try lefty tighty. Nope. Let's try righty tighty over on this side. Nope. I'm gonna say this cheapo bottom bracket feels tight. I really wanted to be loose in the frame so I could rationalize saving it. It barely had any play. Maybe we'll rationalize saving it. I don't know. This front derailleur has no noticeable wear and rub. We really should save it. Really could keep it a double up front. Most people don't care. Most people don't care. I'm going to take the rack off because it's stupid. And we hate it. It's got broken fender stays on it. All sorts of stuff. I might rationalize. I might try and squeeze the rear triangle. Ooh, this other dumb bolt is behind the brake bolt. Dumb. Sketchy mono stays. They're only 3 points of contact. Bent all wing nutty. This rack's not very strong in the first place. You're just reducing strength every step of the way. Probably gonna pull this whole brake off. Rack free and pull brake hardware back on in the right place because I'm a good person. Don't want to lose it. I may or may not use these brakes. Might test fit some other stuff. May or may not sell them. I may or may not just strip them for spacers and barrel adjusters. But I got a lot of spacers and barrel adjusters, so I don't need to. Oh, this thing's a little nightmare. Kickstand. It's got like a little SKF metal pinch around your stay sort of brackets on the fender, and the kickstand is sort of pinching up against that and holding it in place. See if we can loosen it. I'll probably take it off, probably wipe all the dirt and grime off of here at the least. Who knows if this kickstand's even cut to fit this bike. Might try and put it back on if it is, because it's nice to have kickstands if you can get a bike where they actually fit and work and don't interfere with the derailleur. On a lot of frictiony stuff, even some index stuff, you'll just put it on here and just mash the cable, then just reset the housing so the cable's just rubbing on the kickstand. I've definitely taken a file to kickstand plates and just filed a little teeny groove in them for the cable to run through so it didn't have a bunch of friction to mess with my awesome shifting. Yes! Away! Let's see, foul beast. Shifter's going right in the trash with this rack. Yeah, babe. Recycling. No one cares. Don't wreck my awesome Dollar Tree bag. Should I save this housing and cable? It's all fine. It's white and the brake is silver. Inspect these dropouts. Those old style dropouts are the best dropouts ever made, but occasionally they will crack the window or right up against the frame. Take a look, making sure everything's cool. Part of me wants to go 130, modern wheels, modern cranks. Save these Sagino cranks. Not even worry about these totally probably worn out, dead, probably not round or true or tensioned 27-inch wheels. Let's just give it a little push and see. Maybe we yank on it real hard and it's still 126 and I go, I don't want to deal with it. Maybe we give it a little push and it goes right to 130. moved, but I don't know if it moved. Oh! Oh god, guys. So, when it said chromoly main triangles, it definitely didn't mean any of these tubes. I felt like I got them to move, but I felt like they sprung right back. I am wrong. I'm at 142. Yikes. Yikes. I'm like 135. Now we're going to bust out the old trusty frame alignment gauge. I'm sure it's this side that bent out. It looks like this side had bent out. This side's got the double dimples, so it's usually the one that bends out the easiest. But let's take a look. So we can just bend the one side back. So head tube, seat tube, letting this all the way out. Head tube, seat tube, drop out. Touchy, touchy, touchy. Holds my adjustments. Head tube, seat tube. Drop out, giant gap over here, so yeah, this side needs to come in like a centimeter. That's sometimes tricky. It's usually the one you're pushing on that moves. And this is the softer one, so I'm just going to kind of hold here and give this side a little squeezies. And we're at like 128, 129. Let's double check it and see if either of these got to get pushed again. Yeah, it's all on this side. There's a giant gap over here now. Giant gap over here. Okay, we're touching. So still this side has got to move. That's what I wanted. Just give it a little yank. Like 131. That's perfect. Drop out alignment tools. We've covered this a bunch of times. There's a lot of them for sale out there in the world. A lot for a lot of money. A lot for not a lot of money. Get them. I think the Cyclist ones are the cheapest. They look like they're fine. These are vintage VAR ones from the 70s, and they're my favorite. Let's tighten these dudes down. Wow, that's pretty close. Trying to get these guys to line up perfectly, cup to cup, and not a big gap. Being weird, perfectly. And that way you'll have even pressure on your bearings and not make your hubs wear out prematurely or be stupid. These are so close. Good. Now I'm gonna use all the parts on this that I was gonna use on the Paramounts of the 600 group. I won't have them. Now we'll be back to that 600 group. It's a great design, Suntour. It's a 8mm bolt, but you can't get around it because of the shape of the derailleur body. But it's got a screwdriver head in it, which it's in too tight and doesn't want to share it. Really, the worst design Suntour I've ever seen. All right, there we go. I might replace that if it's a standard M5 with just like a regular Allen headed bolt. If I use these, they're kind of cool and weird. I'll probably not use them. I'll probably put a long cage or a derailleur on here. Big 8-speed cassette. It's not really room on these bars for a thumbie. Maybe put one right in the little ditch. Oh, I do have a vintagey, I do have some vintage long cagey derailleurs that are indexy, frictiony. I'm sure I got a thumbie. Could switch these bars to some regular ass cruiser bars, and I probably have room for 8-speed trigger shifter and an 8-speed rear shifter. I don't know. I ain't gonna think that far ahead. We got parts. We're drowning in parts. If you watch half my videos, you know literally half my videos are about drowning in parts. Getting all them parts. Getting. If I do a one by, I can show a cool trick. Should just pinch this in, made it a fixie. Mixie fixie. That'd have been fun. This cable is like practically brand new. There's nothing wrong with it. We might save it. Use it on the front. If we do a front. Ooh, hi, yeah. You know what I hate? Stupid old bent water bottle cages. Why have I not removed it yet? What's this? Interesting Suntour derailleurs. I've never seen them. I haven't even seen this with like a different name on it. The rear is very much like a VXG. The front's got a bunch of its own styling and features. God, I should have just washed this bike in the yard and drip lube on it, put it up for sale. Like people who actually make money flipping bikes do. Not I. Not I. Not I. I gotta fucking pull every single one apart, overhaul it, put a ton of money in, and wonder why I can't sell them. Well, I guess we're going full naked and clean, so you guys don't care about that. I'll check back in with you when this thing's naked and clean and we start building. Unless I find something real wacky. I haven't even checked to see if the seat post and stem are frozen yet. Figure I might as well do the moment of truth moments. Well, yeah. I never drop tools except for literally every 5 seconds. Old 3T stem. What are we thinking? Nice, freshly greased, white lithium grease. That's all the CCC uses. There's a good chance it was a CCC refurb. It's got a nice long 3T stem. I got like 3 or 4 of these if no one cares. It's pretty cool though. Cool velloy orange bars, but if you see, there's really no room. There's barely room for the brake levers, let alone putting a thumbie up here. Maybe I could do them in the bends. Maybe I'll put them up awkwardly. Bars are cool. Stem's cool. This bike's so little. Can't really get away with it. I'd rather have a positive rise stem or a tall stem and a cruiser bar. We'll see, we'll see. Alright. CCC wouldn't sell a bike with a frozen seat post. Oh yeah, that slipped. Cool, cool, cool. Alright. Headset feels good. It's a little... might be dry. I'll probably just open it up and sneak and grease it. It's amazing they got it tight. It's like right on the money. It probably needs like a 0.5 millimeter spacer, really. Alright, we'll sneak and grease that. We'll decide if we're going to one by it. Put a bottom bracket in. Decide if I'm going to show a cool trick for this, which I'm thinking probably will. Give this thing a clean. I guess I should get rid of this bottom bracket. But I wish I could save you. Why do you have to be dead? By dead I mean barely showing any play, but if someone gets this, starts really putting miles on it, the play will come pretty quick. Let's at least pull it out and look at it. Alrighty. So this will be a righty loosey. Yep. Let's try this side first. This cup is like all the way in. I'll loosen it a little bit. Maybe just put it in wrong. Now let's try this side. So you can cinch it up. Lefty tighty. Oh, alright. Let's try righty loosey again. Let's try Old Man Likes His Cheetah Bar again. Okay. Okay. Sure, I'm just damaging the threads, damaging those little tool interfaces at this point. We're gonna go bring this fun tool, which I didn't know existed until I got one recently used. It's a, I thought it said Pedros, but I don't see where it says anything now. But it's a spring-loaded dude, so it goes into your spliney seal cartridge bottom bracket, and then this pushes in and threads into your spindle, so that this thing cannot slip. Big boy, my 15-inch drop forge. These are so expensive, even at like Harbor Freight. I think a friend found this on the side of the road and gave it to me 20 years ago. Oh yeah! I love it when stuff can't slip. That's all slipping is transmitting all your force, not where you want it to go, but just wherever. You tighten stuff down, you're transferring all your force directly where you want it to go, and suddenly things pop way easier. This tool is really great. I didn't know it existed, I never cared, and then suddenly I'm using it like every time. Come on, cheapo bottom bracket with play. Yeah, cheap RPM. You know, I bet it's actually fine, but it's just cheap and has the tiniest bit of play for no reason. We might clean it and reuse it, assuming it's even the right size. Whoa. Oh. All right, how to clean this? Sneak and grease that headset, and then we'll see what we gotta see. Need some rags, man. Like a cup holder out here just for rags.